Hi guys! So as you'll know if you've seen my other videos, I was really pleased with how many books I read last year in 2014. I read a lot more than I thought I would, and my whole plan to not do any reading challenges and to keep things nice and relaxed worked really well. The only thing I did kind of challenge myself to do was read all the books in a video which is called Books I Must Read This Year. It's now going to be called Books I Must Read This Year 2014 because this is the 2015 edition. Yay! Like I said, I was very proud of how many books I'd read. I thought I hadn't done too badly on the Books I Must Read This Year 2014 list. But then when I went through and rewatched the video and worked it all out, I realised I had only read 4 out of 12. So, this year I am challenging myself to try to read as many of the remaining books as I can, and also to add 4 more books onto the list. I'm going to stick a picture here so that you can see the full list. And then I am going to talk you through the new additions. So the first addition to my list is Deep Wizardry by Julianne. No idea if I pronounced that the right way, apologies. This is the second book in a series, and I read the first one, So You Want to Be a Wizard, years ago. Like, seriously, years. And I really liked it, and got hold of this book and planned to finish the series, and I never have. The issue I have is that reading Deep Wizardry will require me to reread So You Want to Be a Wizard. But I don't mind, it was really good. I think people back in the day used to call it the American equivalent of Harry Potter, but it's really not like Harry Potter. There's no magic school. What happens is this girl, Nita, is in the library one day and she finds this book called So You Want to Be a Wizard, in the vein of a whole kind of career series of books, like So You Want to Be a Doctor, etc. Anyway, she picks up So You Want to Be a Wizard and she starts following the instructions within it, and this leads her into a whole world of adventures. And she teams up with this boy called Kit, and they have to, you know, fight evil and save the world and all that kind of thing. I really enjoyed it, and I'm just rubbish for not having read the second one. But this year guys, this year. Next up is Day 2 by Katie McGarry. This is her second book in a kind of loosely connected series. It's not a strict sequel. It doesn't have the same main characters that were in her first book, Pushing the Limits. It's about a different couple, but one of them was in the first book. So I'm really looking forward to reading it, and I've put it in my monthly TBR selection several times and have not actually picked it up and read it. So, bad me, it's on the list of shame. Next up is a book I felt I had to put on. Have a Little Faith by Candy Harper. This was given to me by Jim from YA Yeah. And if you know anything about Jim, you'll know that he is obsessed with this book, and he recommends it to people all the time, and he's endlessly buying copies. He basically lives in a house made of copies of Have a Little Faith, as far as anyone can tell. You know, all his furniture is made of copies of Have a Little Faith. He buys like another 60 copies every week. Okay, I'm maybe slightly exaggerating, but I'm not surprised when I see a post of him on Twitter and there's a picture of a book call and it includes at least 1 copy of Have a Little Faith. So anyway, seeing as he was kind enough to give me this copy, I thought that it should make it onto the list of shame because I should read it, and then maybe I'll start creating a house out of copies of Have a Little Faith too. Yay! Finally, Trouble by Non Pratt, because I don't understand why I haven't read this. Actually, no, I lie, I do. It's because it's about teenage pregnancy, and my gut reaction is to any book about teenage pregnancy. I've read like 2 in my life. I think I read a really depressing one when I was a teenager, and that put me off of them. Like, I didn't want to read about teenagers getting pregnant because I was like, I am never getting pregnant, ever. Like, that's just not happening to me. The idea was so incredibly repellent. I just was like, I don't want to read about a character in a situation I'm never going to get into. This is daft. I didn't even have a boyfriend for like all of school. So, getting pregnant was just like this completely bizarre notion to me. Obviously, I'm in my 20s now. I just, no. I was always like, why do I want to read a book about teenage pregnancy when I could read a book just about anything else? But everybody raves about Trouble, and people say it's really funny. I think I've seen her read a bit from Trouble, and I think I've seen her read a bit from Remix, her book that's coming out this year. And I saw her at Yale answering questions about it, and yeah. And to be fair, the last time I read a book about teenage pregnancy, I did really like it, but it was Slam by Nick Hornby, and picking that up I thought would be a safe bet because I like Nick Hornby's writing, and also it was on the point of view of boy, so I didn't think there'd be any gross pregnancy details I didn't want to know about. Anyway, so those are the new additions to my list of shame. Wish me luck. Hopefully I'll read some of them soon. I want to read Trouble as soon as possible actually because it's on the YA Book Prize shortlist. In an ideal world, I'd like to read all the books on that shortlist, but I'm not going to actually state it as an official challenge. Just briefly, I'm going to tell you the other reading challenges that I'm taking part in this year. I'm doing the British Book Challenge, which is hosted by our own Michelle. I'm doing the Classics Reading Challenge, which is hosted by Stacey at Pretty Books. I'm doing a Fairy Tale Retelling Challenge. I'm doing Dive into the Diversity Challenge, and I am doing the TBR Double Dog Dare, which means that I am not allowed to read any new books until April the 1st. So till then I have to read books that I owned before the start of January this year, which is basically all my books. I haven't got any new books so far this year. This is going to last like 10 minutes. But let me tell you, I already know that I'm going to get new books next week, so good luck to me. You can allow yourself exceptions for books you really want to read, or books you have to read for book club. So I would definitely be allowing myself books I have to read for book club, and let's be honest, if I get a review copy of the sequel to The Diviners sent to me before April, I'm gonna read that. I'm gonna stop everything and read it right then. I cannot wait. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and you'll see me in a couple of weeks. Goodbye!